What is up, everybody? Another Monday back. It's about to be playoff baseball season. We had a fun, packed weekend from Friday night, Florida State getting bounced. You had that crazy game at Happy Valley on Saturday. Probably had the game of the year in the NFL season last night as well. But let's get right into it. We're gonna talk about Packers versus Cowboys last night. Sad to see such a great game just end in a tie. But it was electric. 40 points, 40-40. Does this kind of expose the Packers as kind of pretenders in the NFC now?
I think it's still a little too early to tell, but their defense last night was atrocious.
Abysmal.
Yeah, the Cowboys have a good offense, but CD Lamb wasn't even playing.
Right.
They gave up how many yards? 436 yards they gave up.
Jesus Christ.
They gave up 319 through the air. Dak Prescott was 31 of 40, 319, 3 touchdowns. George Pickens, one of my favorite wide receivers, who I think should still be a Pittsburgh Steeler, had a fantastic game. But the Packers, man, that's 2 weeks in a row where they just haven't looked good. They scored 10 points against the Cleveland Browns. They come back in a game that they should be, especially the defense. Like, we were expecting them to come into this game juiced up. Micah Parsons coming back to Dallas. Like, they should have been amped up for this game, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely.
And then they come out and give up 40 points. I don't know how you go from looking that good in the first 2 weeks of the season to looking this bad in the last 2 weeks. But they got a bye week coming up, so they can figure some things out. I'm not ready to count them out yet. But
offense looks good.
They got to figure some stuff. Yeah. Except for that Browns game.
Really
but the
good.
Browns have one of the best defenses in the league. So that's going to happen sometimes. Offense is there. Defense needs some work.
Josh Jacobs had a game yesterday. 24 carries, 122 yards, 2 tutties. Had about 35 receiving yards too. The guy can't stop scoring touchdowns. But the Packers defense, like you said, they're just giving up too much. And you would think after trading for Micah Parsons that they were going to go out there and make a statement win. That defense is going to step up. But you kind of make Jerry Jones look like a genius when you guys are giving up 40 points and he traded away his best player to you. Parsons did have a sack. He had 2 QB hits, 6 tackles. He did have a decent game. But Dallas, just when I thought that they were going to be just bend over and just take it from the Packers, pause. They were throwing that ass right back at them. They were fighting back.
Man.
It's not the game that I expected to watch last night. I was expecting the Packers to just steamroll them, but I was tuned in the entire game. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I was cooking dinner and I still couldn't stop watching. That game was awesome. But out of the quarterbacks, who do you think? Go ahead.
It hurts my soul so much to watch George Pickens score touchdowns for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yesterday, right? He had 2?
Yeah. You see that one catch he had on the sideline? Oh, my goodness. That wasn't even one of his touchdowns.
I want to talk about Dak and
we traded
Jordan Love because they both put on a show yesterday. So who do you think won that quarterback battle out of the 2? No turnovers, 3 touchdown passes each. Yeah.
Considering how the game ended, I think I'm allowed to do this. It's a tie. Just like the football game. It's a tie.
Crazy. Yeah.
Like you said, they had the same amount of completions, which is kind of funny. Jordan Love was 31 of 43. Dak was 31 of 40. They both had 3 touchdowns, like you said, no picks. Dak Prescott did have a touchdown on the ground. It was only a 2-yard run, though. Almost the same yards, 337 for Love to 319 for Dak.
They were just slinging the ball.
The game ended in a tie. The stats were almost identical, and the game ended in a tie.
Love, I thought, had some really timely third down conversions. I think they were like 7 for 9 in converting on third down yesterday, which I think is a really big stat. And I think I'm with you on the tie, but I liked what Jordan Love was doing. He came out the gate slinging. He had that one big bomb to Matthew Golden where he had two players in the same area. They were both wide open. Finally, get to see Matthew Golden show some flashes out there. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
The Packers were 10 for 14 on third down.
Wow.
10 for 14. Cowboys were just 4 for 11.
Wow. So that when you're going on those long drives and you're extending plays and you're just controlling the tempo of the game, that's where I really think makes a difference in like showing what type of quarterback you are. I think Jordan Love is actually like having a really good year this year. So yeah, I'm impressed by him. I know what Dak is going to give you. I know Dak is going to be able to sling it. I was just ready to see Jordan Love to be able to take that next step and show out on primetime like he did last night.
It's worth mentioning because the game ended in a tie. The Cowboys, that extra point that they blocked in return for a 2-point conversion, if you don't block that extra point, the game probably does not end up in a tie. Obviously, you never know because that would have changed the whole course of the game. But what has been going on with these kick blocks, bro? This is insane. The kick blocks are like on crack right now. Between last week and this week, all over the NFL. I even saw one yesterday in Tampa, and we'll get to that game in a little bit.
Yeah, there must be there might be some like sacrificial lambs out there.
There must be, bro.
In these football stadiums. The Eagles are doing their devil magic.
I don't know what's going on, but it's been crazy.
So I think this is
bro.
Do you think this matchup, this Packers-Cowboys, we might see in the playoffs? I don't know if the Cowboys are going to make it, but do you look at this as like a new age rivalry, especially with, I wouldn't even say new age. Would you say that they're kind of rekindling this rivalry? Because we saw those games in the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers going and breaking the hearts of Cowboys fans in the past, and these games are always pretty electric. How do you feel about this being a rivalry back again?
It would be, I mean, first off, if we get another game like that, if we get round 2 of last night in the playoffs, that would be sensational because that was a hell of a game. But like you said, not sure if the Cowboys are even going to get to the playoffs. But, man, that would be a hell of a matchup.
In the 90s,
next time,
they would
though,
always
it needs to be in Green Bay,
some good matchups.
And it probably will be.
In the 90s, they had some good matchups. I think I remember that Rodgers that drive in 2016 where he just totally just was dotting them up. And then I looked at the all-time series, and it's 20-19 Cowboys.
That's insane. 20-19-1 now, right?
Yep.
That was the first tie in the series. Mm-hmm. What I remember the most from the Packers-Cowboys rivalry is that very controversial Dez Bryant no catch.
Yeah.
And even as the biggest Cowboys hater, one of the biggest Cowboys haters, because everybody hates the Cowboys, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been a catch. Let's just be honest. It's been like 10 years, maybe 11 years. It should have been a catch.
You are not wrong. Let's move over to your game. I love waking up, putting some coffee on, and it's 9:30 in the morning and football is already about to start. I was so happy. I love it. I think we have this for the next 3 days where I'm just bed rotting on the couch all day. I'm not even moving. I'm just watching football all day from 9:30 to 12:30 till 12:30 in the morning. That Steelers-Vikings game. Everybody had the Vikings coming into it. I think the Vikings were like 2.5-point favorites. And then your Steelers go out and have a gritty game. They just keep having these gritty games, and they just keep toughing it out. Now, overseas against Minnesota, what do you think this says about your Steelers? this win? Rob, you're killing me with your
What was
Wi-Fi.
that?
You
Can you
still there?
repeat that?
I said, what does this win mean for your Steelers? 3-0, top of the division.
Oh, this is huge. Especially with the Ravens losing last night. This game is absolutely massive. It puts us 2 games ahead of Baltimore. Cincinnati is there at what, 2-1, but nobody's worried about Cincinnati. Oh, no, Cincinnati's 2-2, but nobody's worried about Cincinnati
They're
without Joe
2-1. They play
Burrow. The
tonight.
Browns, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Oh yeah, they do play tonight against the Broncos.
Mhm.
So nobody's worried about the Bengals. Let's be honest. Nobody's worried about the Browns. It's really just going to come down to Steelers and Ravens. You would think that the Ravens would win that, but Steelers are 3-1, Ravens are 1-3. There's only so many games on the schedule, so to have a 2-game lead this early in the season is massive. We still have those 2 games, obviously the 2 head-to-head matchups coming against Baltimore. We play them in the last game of the season. We play them in December and in January. So we got a lot of time before then, but it's a good head start.
I thought that defense was going to get killed yesterday, and they really were up until the second half, maybe even up until the fourth quarter, that they had them complete. They didn't have any answers. The Vikings did for that defense. I was seeing them be able to get Pittsburgh get to the quarterback, rushing the passer. They didn't know where to throw the ball. Carson Wentz was fumbling, throwing picks. I thought it was just like it was a really the defense deserves like a little bit of appreciation here because and then also that man Kenneth Gainwell had the game of his life yesterday. People in Ireland probably think Kenneth Gainwell is LaDainian Tomlinson out there for what they saw.
Kenneth
Because he was
Gainwell,
putting on
man.
a show. Putting on a show. 2 tutties, 100 yards,
19 carries, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he had 35 yards in the passing game too. So he was doing it all last night. Yesterday
defense
morning.
had 6 sacks yesterday.
Hell of a game.
Another
it was
great
great.
one. Tell me about what do you think about there's that play that Peyton Wilson had going out there and running down Jordan Addison to be able to kind of give you guys a little bit more control in that crunch time. Because that should have been a touchdown. But Peyton Wilson's going and he's busting his ass out there, saving you guys the game.
I mean, what could I say? We got DK Metcalf on the sideline. We all remember that play DK made how many years back against Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Wilson must have been taking notes because he was hauling ass to get Jordan Addison on that sideline. I don't know how he caught up to him, but that's a potentially game-saving tackle right there. After that, like another minute came off the clock. The Vikings could have used that time, especially on that last drive.
Yeah. Well, and then I was worried about the clock management down the stretch with, I think you guys had it at 4th and 1, and then Tomlin goes out there and punts the ball. And I was like, what is Tomlin doing? Just go out there and get 1 yard and don't give this team the ball back. But sure enough, they go out and they get a pick the very next drive. They should have had 2 picks. The first one got bobbled. And then they go out there and seal the game. Tomlin had all the confidence in the world in his defense. And I was texting you. I was like, what is this guy doing? Because I know you love shitting on your coaches. What's up, Buff? Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. We'll see you later. Cowboys, I know you're happy.
Mike Tomlin Tomlin has no guts. No guts. This is what he does, bro. I've seen it for I don't know how many years now. We get a 2-touchdown lead, 17-point lead. You're just going to take the foot off the gas, run the ball. You got a 4th and 1 on like the other team's 40. You can't get 1 yard. You'd rather give the ball back than get 1 yard. It's I
You
can't
guys'
stand him, bro.
red zone defense is really impressive to me. You guys let teams get down in the red zone, and I think they're going to score, and then you guys lock in on that defensive side. And there's a lot of times that they end up with field goals or interceptions or turnovers when they should be putting up 6. So I think that's one of the biggest things that you guys are leaning on is bending but not breaking. But yeah, for sure. That TJ
Yeah,
Watt
that's
interception was also very impressive.
yeah, that was huge. I think it was him and Cam Hayward. I don't know if it was him or Cam that tipped it up in the air, and then
Yeah.
TJ was able to corral it. That was huge. Another huge play there. And then
Yeah,
TJ
those
also had
points
a
also.
sack.
He's back.
TJ was getting a lot of hate in those first 2 games of the season, but he shut those haters up real quick.
The turnover battle will always be the thing that wins you games every single time. You saw it when you guys played the Patriots. You guys shouldn't even have been in that game, but you guys forced 5 turnovers. So how could you not win a game like that? I think this gives you guys.
I saw it up close and personal. I saw it up close and personal yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. You think you guys have a real shot? I think with this start, 3-1 start, and you got the Ravens starting 1-3. The playoffs are looking quite nice for you guys as long as you guys just don't fall apart. I mean, it's a quarter way into the season, but you couldn't ask really for a better start as a Pittsburgh fan. Do you think this kind of gives you guys a shot in the AFC playoffs? Because you guys are getting these gritty wins, man. I think when it's playoff time, this is going to translate into playoff football.
Coming into the season, I was hoping wild card, maybe 6 or 7 seed. But with the way that the Ravens have started the year, I'm thinking division now. We got a bye week coming up. Coming out of the bye, we get the Browns at home. Then we get the Bengals on the road. The Browns at home should be a guaranteed win. It should be. That would put us at 4-1. You get the Bengals on the road on a Thursday night. And it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tougher than it should be. Yeah. And then we're going to get the Bengals on a Thursday night on the road. That's going to be a tough one. Even with the Bengals not having Joe Burrow, they still got all those weapons. And we've seen Browning been able to put up good games in the last few years. So we'll see what they're able to do. But I'm thinking division, man. We can go out and win the AFC North. And Lamar Jackson, he was I don't think he's going to miss any time. But he did leave the game yesterday with that hamstring, so we'll keep tabs on him and see what's going on with Lamar.
Yeah, he hasn't been looking too impressive. I'm not gonna lie. He's not selling me on the MVP Lamar right now. So let's move to the game that you were at. You keep getting these really great games down the stretch, seeing Baker Mayfield and the Bucs kind of put on a show, even though they lost yesterday. It was still probably a very exciting game to be at. So tell me a little bit about that.
We are 4 weeks. We're 4 weeks into the season, and I've seen 3 of the best games of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep them coming.
The Eagles kind of squeak out and they survive, but Tampa was in that second half. They're always a second half team. But talk to me. Let's talk about that punt block. What'd you think about that? Because that's kind of what put the Eagles over the edge, where I was like, okay, they're dominating this game. But I knew the Bucs would have a little bit of fight in them. But that kind of flipped that momentum early. What'd you think about that block punt?
That definitely set the tone. And like you said earlier, what is going on in the Eagles locker room right now? They had 2 blocked field goals in the fourth quarter last week. And then they opened the game with a blocked punt for a touchdown this week. I don't know what is going on in that locker room with that devil magic, but my goodness. They moved to 4-0.
They keep scoring touchdowns. They don't just block it. Like, they're scoring.
Yeah. They brought it back to the house. Dude, I wasn't even in my seat yet, and they had a block punt for a touchdown. I heard the crowd going insane. I was like, oh, the Bucs did something. No, I came out and the Eagles scored a touchdown. Bro, it was like 60-40 Bucs there. There was so much green. It was insane. You could smell the Philly trash all over the place.
The Jersey, Philly, New York, Boston, they don't like their cities other than the Boston people, but because we actually have a nice, beautiful city, but they all come down to Florida to be able to just give hell to these Floridians and show them what a real fan base kind of looks like. That's what I do appreciate that about those sorry ass Eagles and Giants and Yankees, all of them. They're all the worst type of people. You don't ever want to see them. They'll spit on your kids at games. They'll call your kids the most egregious words. They're just not good people. You could see the hat that he's wearing and those pinstripes he has on.
Do their kids deserve it? That's the real question here. Do their kids deserve it? Maybe they do.
What do you think about Jalen Hurts, bro? I think it's after 4 weeks and one game where you pass for 200 yards and have 3 touchdowns, and the rest of them you look terrible. How is it time to hit the panic button on Jalen Hurts right now? Or is this just what we're used to?
I watched the whole game yesterday. I thought Jalen Hurts played a good game. And then I looked at the stats, and he only had 130 passing yards and like 62 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, I think, no picks. And I told Gene, I was watching the game with Gene Fitzmagic, and our buddy Ryan, who's a diehard Eagles fan. I was telling him, this is exactly why you do not judge Jalen Hurts based off the stats. He doesn't care about the stats. He just wants to go out and win the game. I thought he played a good game. He played a clean game. He was efficient, didn't turn the ball over. He did what he needed to do to get the win. And he's what, 18?
I'm not with you on this.
He's won, 18 games in a row?
His team is stacked. He can't even get A.J. Brown 25 yards for my parlay. I had A.J. Brown for 25 receiving yards. And I think they connected on like 2 passes yesterday with like
tell
7 or 8
A.J. Brown to get open, bro. Tell A.J. Brown to get open.
Real quarterback is going to throw it in those windows and make him open.
Well, he had 9 targets and only had 2 catches. They were force-feeding him the ball when he wasn't even open. You know why? Because he's a crybaby. That's what he did after the game. After they won the game to get the 4-0, he runs to social media to post some cryptic messages. So that's what he does. He's a crybaby. Winning isn't enough.
Drake May hooping. He sees Drake May hooping, and he's just dreaming about New England right now. He's tired of this.
Yeah. Because he'd rather get 10 catches and lose than get 3 catches and win. That's just the type of guy he is, I guess. I mean, he got his ring last year. Maybe he doesn't care about winning anymore. He just wants to get his stats and money now.
I guess you're right. On the flip side, you see Baker putting up all those stats, and he's looking amazing. But he has that big turnover in the red zone when they should have scored. So, I mean, what can you ask for? Would you rather have the quarterback that kind of folds under pressure, which I don't think Baker necessarily did. It was just kind of like these quarterbacks nowadays need to know when to throw the ball away. Everybody's trying to be Patty Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Baker is usually a very clutch quarterback, but what the hell was he thinking, bro? It is 1st and 10. You're on 1st down. Throw the ball away. Throw the ball away, and it's still 4 down territory. Or at the very least, you could have gotten a field goal. Then you only would have been down by 5. Get a stop, get the ball back. They had all the momentum in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
1st down, he tries to extend a play, and he just throws it straight to the defense. That was a very uncharacteristic mistake from Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I'm sure he's kicking himself a little bit. So, Philly with wins over, they've beaten the Rams, they've beaten the Bucs. Who else have they beaten? Their other 2 wins?
They beat the Rams, the Cowboys, the Bucs. The Rams, the Cowboys, the Bucks.
Let's just say they've had some statement wins. Does this kind of just reinforce the fact that they're the NFC's top threat?
They beat Kansas City in Arrowhead.
Yep,
it was Kansas City that they beat in Arrowhead.
Mm-hmm. So 3 big wins.
Yeah.
Does this reinforce them as still NFC's top threat? Because these are the guys that we thought that they were going to give them a little bit of issues, maybe.
It's been ugly, but you can't complain about an ugly win when you're playing the best teams in the NFL. You know,
right?
You play Kansas City on the road. It doesn't matter how you win. You just got to get the win. You're playing the Rams, who are a very good team. You're down 26-7. You come all the way back, and then you go on the road to play a 3-0 Bucks team, and you find a way to get the win again. That's just what they do. They find ways to win games, and I think that really shows the makeup of a championship team. You can win anyway. You can win big. You can win low-scoring games. You can win ugly games. You can win games like yesterday where you get outgained by almost 200 yards. The Bucks outgained the Eagles 376-200, and the Eagles won the game because they took care of the ball. They didn't turn the ball over, and they forced 2 turnovers. And they made a huge play on special teams in the first quarter. They can win any way. Any way you want it, they can give it to you.
All right, now let's move to Arrowhead. I thought this was going to be a heavyweight clash at 4:30. I thought we were going to have another great game to watch, and the Chiefs were just
one more thing on this Eagles-Bucks game. That Bucky Irving fumble was not a fumble, bro.
I didn't see
Since
that.
when can the ground cause a fumble? His wrist touched the ground.
I did see that.
His wrist hit the ground, and the ground knocked the ball out. Since when can the ground cause a fumble? That's the last thing I wanted to say on that.
They had his body in like a twister position. I would have dropped the ball too with how his body was like being contorted. Yeah, you're right. I think the wrist should be as part of the forearm. It's like it's the end of the forearm. You know what I mean? Give him that.
The wrist is like the most important part. His wrist bounced off the ground, and naturally the ball is going to pop up. I don't understand that. I don't know how they didn't overturn that call. But
Emeka keeps on doing his thing. Keeps on just reiterating the fact that he's going to probably be Offensive Player of the Year and probably the best draft pick in the first round in May. So, the guy's still doing his thing. That was a great catch, great ball by Baker too.
That touchdown was like 60% great ball placement, 40% luck because it went through both of their hands.
Yeah, but the concentration to be able to still haul it in after 2 guys basically just like almost fingertipping the ball. Yeah, great play by ball. And I saw somebody on Twitter was like, "Do you think the Bucks could use those extra seconds when he's standing at the goal line?"
I saw that too, bro. That is so stupid. You really gonna think that? You think those 2 seconds? You think those 2 seconds were gonna save the game? Maybe if they didn't get blocked on a punt, they would have won the game. Or maybe if Baker didn't throw an interception in the end zone on first down, then they would have won the game.
So stupid. All right, let's talk about this Kansas City statement win. Mahomes was carving up that Baltimore defense, and they converted on a lot of 4th downs. But for the Ravens, Lamar was he was getting exposed. Spagnuolo was giving him insane looks out there. I think he does a really good job at like these delayed blitzes and keeping a spy on Lamar, but also having like great zone defense out there where Lamar doesn't even have the receivers to go out there and get open. And Lamar is forcing the ball into tight windows, throwing picks. What do you think? Was this more of a statement win for Kansas City, or are we calling for a crisis over in Baltimore right now?
I think it needs to be pointed out that the Ravens were missing like 6 defensive starters.
That's
That
true.
is no excuse for their offense, though. Their offense looked
Mm-hmm.
awful. There's no excuse for their offense. They look bad.
I don't know.
Like you said, the Chiefs defense exposed whatever the hell they had going on offense.
Yeah.
But as for the Chiefs offense carving up the Ravens defense, I give them a little bit of a pass. They were missing so many guys. So many guys. 6 defensive starters were out. And then Wiggins went out later in the game. So by the end of the game, they had like 7 defensive starters out.
The Chiefs are averaging 6.8 yards per play.
Yeah. I mean, they were carving them up. Patrick Mahomes looked fantastic yesterday. I think that was his first.
No picks.
That was his first game with 4 passing touchdowns since 2023, they said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Surprising.
And Xavier Worthy being out for those few games might have been a blessing in disguise because they were able to develop Tyquan Thornton, who has turned into a real threat in their offense now. And then you get Xavier Worthy back, and he had a game yesterday. And then 2 more games, and then you get Rashee Rice back. At that point, you'll have Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton,
Juju Smith,
and Travis Kelce. The Chiefs are going to be more than fine.
Yeah, it's crazy what when you don't have Mac Jones as your quarterback, how Tyquan Thornton can look like a really good.
After 2 weeks,
receiver,
everybody was saying that I mean, if you have Mac Jones out there, nobody's going to look good. So
it was. I hate seeing him thrive out there. Yeah. Are you worried about Lamar?
Mac Jones?
In these big... No, Tyquan Thornton. Like, Boston media was giving... We haven't had a good receiver draft like that we've drafted almost ever. So every time we draft one, we just... All the eyes, the whole media is worried about him, and the whole fan base is always worried about these receiver prospects that hopefully that they'd be able to hit one day. And they just never pan out. N'Keal Harry, Tyquan Thornton, Jalen Polk. Those are the last 3 that we've drafted in like the top 2 rounds, and none of them have ever amounted to anything. So glad that guy got out of that toxic relationship with Mac Jones and the Patriots, and he's able to thrive. Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, if for everybody that's able to get away from Mac Jones, I'm happy for you.
All right. Are you worried about Lamar now? He's been struggling, man. The last 2 weeks in particular, I think he's looked awful.
I'm not that concerned. I think he'll figure it out. But he looked, like you said, he looked really bad yesterday. Really bad. I didn't think he looked that bad in the Lions game. Actually, he looked really good in the Lions game, actually. But
I think other than down the stretch, like he's taking some bad sacks, trying to extend the plays a little bit too much, but that's what Lamar is. But he is not looking like the Lamar that we know to be probably the best player in the league when he's on his P's and Q's. So maybe that's just what it is. The drop off right now is just too much. But 1-5 against KC in his career.
I think the first. Well, KC's a different story because they just happen to beat everybody in the AFC at least. But I think the first 3 weeks of the season, I think Lamar Jackson played extremely well. They just happened to lose 2 of those games. Yeah. Obviously, he's the quarterback. He's the MVP, so he's going to get the bulk of the blame. But if we're being honest, Derrick Henry lost them those games. He fumbled in the fourth quarter in 3 consecutive games. Like Lamar Jackson in the last game had over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and completed over 80% of his passes, almost 80% of his passes.
Yeah.
The defense gave up 38 points and Derrick Henry fumbled in the fourth quarter. So what are you going to do? But last night,
bounce back?
I think they can bounce back. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. Even at 1-3, I'd be shocked if they miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
They got Houston. They got 3 home games coming up. Houston, the Rams, and the Bears.
Which I don't think any of those
You
games
gotta
are
win.
cakewalks, but I do think they will win at least 2 out of 3.
I think they're going to win at least 2 out of 3. I wouldn't be surprised if they won all 3 of them. It's going to be interesting to see what's up with Lamar's hamstring. Again, I'd be shocked if he missed the game. But it's going to be very interesting because the Texans and the Ravens, both teams that were expected to win their division, they play against each other next week, and they're both 1-3. So one of them teams is going to be 1-4 after next week. 2 teams in desperation mode.
Don't
The
forget
Ravens are going to have to get back healthy.
Jaguars to win the AFC South on this show. Don't forget. I should have put the ticket in. Should have put it on a bet.
There's still no proof of that. There's still no proof of that. Find me the clip.
I'll go find it. You're our producer. You're supposed to find me the clip.
You caught me.
All right.
We'll get it on Opus. Opus will find the clip for us.
They will. Chargers versus Giants. I thought this was a bittersweet for these Giants fans, man. You go out there and you see Jaxson Dart go on his first drive, score an electric touchdown, running 15 yards behind Cam Scatabo. They call it QB draw. Though Scatabo as the lead blocker, and Jaxson Dart just punches it in. It was electric in there until Malik Neighbors goes out there, and it's announced this morning that he tore his ACL. Very sad to see. Yeah, let's talk about that. How do you feel about these Giants? What it looked like it was trending upwards. It's going right back down, guys.
Wow. As much as we all hate Giants fans, you can't help but just feel sorry for them because they've been awful for a very long time now. They've been terrible. And every single year, it's like the same story. You try to find – I mean, they went out this year. They got a quarterback. They waited 3 games into the season to start Jaxson Dart. It was fair. You know, give Russell Wilson a shot. But Jaxson Dart finally gets to play, and your superstar wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, goes out for the season with a torn ACL. This is supposed to be the year that Jaxson Dart and Malik Neighbors were supposed to play the last, 13 games of the season together so that they can gel, build some chemistry in the offense, you know, get some continuity. But, wow, Malik Neighbors, torn ACL. That's awful.
I have a Giants fan that I'm really close friends with, one of my best friends, TC, and he was showing me this, how Saquon tore his ACL in year 2. I think OBJ tore his ACL, year 3 or 4 with the Giants. And now you have Malik Neighbors doing it in his second year. A guy who's on pace to be could be top 5 receiver in football this year. And you pair that with Jaxson Dart, who you guys go out and they trade up for. You know, that's Brian Dable's guy. You saw how happy he was after the game that Jaxson Dart was able to go get his win. But it's just sad to see for those Giants fans. But you guys will get another good draft pick. Hopefully Abdul Carter goes out there and has a great year this year. And you guys just keep developing young talent, and eventually it'll all work out. You guys keep putting these pieces around him. Hopefully Jaxson can show some more flashes of what he did yesterday out there. But they're going to need to get some more receivers around him. But it was good to see. And then you got
what they really need to do.
Go ahead.
They need the Giants and the Jets. Why are they still playing on turf? I just don't understand it. How many players have gotten injured with a torn ACL or a torn Achilles while playing in MetLife Stadium? And they still haven't done anything about it. We already know, like, we know it's because of the turf. The players know it's because of the
Yep.
turf. The coaches know it's because of the turf. So why haven't they done anything about it? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's
They just
negligence
can't
on
put
the
real
NFL.
grass out there. There's no way you can be able to grow real grass up there in New York in this wintertime. But they got to find a new turf. Every other team, it's not as bad as like in New England. You don't have this problem. Philly, you don't have this problem. Even Baltimore, like those northeastern teams, this is the only one that is across the board. Everybody knows that it's the worst field in football.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers got hurt on that field. Who else has gotten hurt on that field? There's a countless list of stars that have had devastating injuries. Huh? What was that?
What do you think about these Monday night games? I had to just switch my AirPod. I wasn't saying anything.
Monday Night Football.
Dolphins versus just give me a couple of picks. Dolphins versus Jets, probably the most shitty game on Monday Night Football history. Then you got Bengals versus Broncos. Another probably just Broncos will probably maul them. But give me a quick pick for the shit off. Dolphins versus Jets.
This is,
And they're both wearing those ugly ass rivalry uniforms.
I got the Dolphins. They're a -2.5 favorite. I think they're gonna win at home. I'm sorry, Gene, but I think the Jets are gonna start 0-4. It's tough. These two of the worst teams in the NFL. Somebody has to win the game though. I got the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And then I'm going to take the Broncos over the Bengals today too.
Yeah, I got the Broncos. They're a -7.5 point favorite. I'll actually take the points on that one. I think the Bengals are going to keep it close. But I got the Broncos winning the game.
All right, let's get off the gridiron. Let's move to the diamond. Tuesday night, baby.
We're there. We are here. This is what we've waited 6 months for.
What this podcast is about. You'll be seeing some shorts this week when we go out and we sweep you guys in 2 games in New York. We own you guys this year. I'm excited for this.
The playoffs are a different ball game, buddy.
I'm so
You're
excited.
gonna find out real soon.
9-4 against the Yankees this year. We'll see if you guys can flip the script. But we've got your number. And hopefully, you know what happens when it's playoff time with Aaron Judge. He starts getting scared. He starts needing his blankie. And he doesn't show up.
No layoff. No layoff this year. We're not taking a week break. None of that week break shit. You get 1 day off, and we're back to work. Aaron Judge is about to have that 2009 A-Rod postseason run. This is it. This is the year. He's having that run, bro. I hope you are ready. When he homers off of Crochet tomorrow in the Bronx and the stadium absolutely erupts, I hope you have off too so that you can be at home watching it in tears. Unfortunately, I'm going to be at work, but you know I'll be watching it. Don't tell anybody, don't tell any managers that, but I'll be at the bar very often tomorrow night.
I'm worried that you guys have Fried and Rodon. I think those are 2 really good pitchers. If we're just being honest, I think you guys have three really good arms if this goes 3. Better than the Crochet, Bayo, and Giolito 3 that we'll probably roll out for this series. But if our bats are hot, I hope this is a high-scoring affair in this wild card series. I don't think the first game is going to be. We're going to have to squeak out a win there. Hopefully Crochet has it, and so does Fried. I love watching me a good little pitching duel. But you guys are lucky that it's not in Fenway.
We're not
that's
lucky.
Where the real,
we won more games than you. We're not
That's
lucky.
the real environment. Nobody's worried about playing baseball in New York, honestly. So
okay.
I got us winning in 2 games. Sending the Yankees home.
You're
It's not
crazy.
going 3.
You don't even believe this, bro. Come on,
I do.
man. Ah, man.
Jose and Bayo are going to have two master classes.
Bro.
And you guys probably won't score more than 3 runs in any of these games. Book it. In those 2 games.
How much you want to put on that, bro?
We're looking at like a first game 5-2, maybe 5-1. You guys might get another run after Crochet gets out of there. And then game 2, I'm thinking the bats are going to be hot. We're going to be hitting Rodon pretty well. I'm thinking like a 6-3 type of game for those. So 5-2 and 6-3 on Tuesday and Wednesday night. And we could have a little friendly wager off air. So
I'm very happy that you're this excited because it's gonna make it even sweeter when your team loses. You're gonna be so devastated. I cannot wait.
We own you guys. And then this is gonna start the run to the World Series that these Red Sox are about to have. The power of friendship Red Sox are about to put on a show in October once we get back to Boston.
Today is Monday. Your season is going to be over by Thursday.
It won't. I guarantee it. All right. Guardians, Tigers, let's move to that.
You guys absolutely need to win game 1. Because if you don't win game 1, it's over. But if you can't win with Crochet on the mound, then it's over. But the Yankees are going to win the series. Let's be real. They're a better team. They're just going to win. They're playing at home. No layoff. Judge is going to be hot. Bellinger is going to do his thing. Jazz Chisholm is going to get hot. Yankees are winning.
Let's move to Guardians, Tigers. This is a crazy one down the stretch. The Guardians end up winning the division. Tigers in the wild card. Right? That's how it ended up?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. What do you think for this series here?
This is it's very interesting because obviously the Guardians are coming in with all of the momentum after coming back, one of the most historical comebacks that you will see in baseball history. They were down 9.5 games. They were 9.5 games down in the division 2 weeks ago. We could look into this, but I highly doubt that any team in MLB history has overcome a 9.5 game lead in 2 weeks. They were down 15.5 at one point in the season. Back in July, they were 15.5 games behind. The Tigers were the hottest team in baseball. They were the only team in the division that was above 500. And now the Guardians have come all the way back. They got all the momentum. But the Tigers have their ace on the mound with Tariq Skubal for game 1. I think the Tigers win game 1 with Skubal on the mound and that the Guardians come back and win the next 2 to advance. And then
playoff baseball is so exciting, man.
They would play the Seattle Mariners after that. Oh yeah, playoff baseball is just a completely different feel. I really want to get out.
So much different.
I really want to get out to a playoff game this year, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens. It's going to be tough.
You better book your flight today because your season's ending this week, dude.
You're out of your mind, bro.
You can come with me to Boston if you want.
To do what? I mean, the Celtics are playing next month. You want to go see a Celtics game?
Go watch a Red Sox playoff game, baby.
Bro,
all right, I'm with you. I think the Guardians are going to win 2-1, and I like the way that you lined it up.
All 3 games are in New York, though. So how are we going to see a game in Boston?
When we win the wild card series and we go back to Boston against the Blue Jays. It's the AL East Invitational in the playoffs this year.
You're nuts, bro. It's going to be an AL East team in the World Series. That's for sure.
It is. Yeah.
There's no way it's not going to be an AL East team in a World Series, but it's going to be the New York Yankees. Let's be honest. And this time they're going to finish the job. They're not going to make 3 errors in 1 inning like a little league team.
You don't even believe that.
I do.
Let's go out west. Padres versus Cubs. What do you think about this? It's another good series here.
The Cubs
are hosting?
Cubs are hosting. Cubs were a bit of a surprise this year. They won 92 games.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that from them, not at all. But they come into this series a little cold, honestly. They've won the last 3 games, but overall they are 4-6 in their last 10 games. The Padres come in a little bit hot. They've won 7 of their last 10. They've also won 3 in a row. It's very interesting because the Cubs. Let me confirm. Yeah, the Cubs are 50-31 playing at home in Chicago. The Padres are 38-43 on the road. And all 3 games in the wild card series obviously are at the higher seeds home field.
Yeah.
Just
I'll
based off
give the Cubs the edge for playing in Wrigley.
Yeah. I kind of want to give them the edge for playing in Wrigley. And there's also the fact that the Padres pitching staff, like, I don't even know how the Padres won 90 games this year. I really don't.
They put up runs. I think this will be an exciting series to watch. That there's going to be a lot of runs, and it's going to be a lot of scoring in this series. I think it'll be a fun one to watch for sure.
They're
see how it goes
starting
with the bullpen down the stretch.
Their bullpen is going to have to carry because their starting pitching leaves a lot to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the bats are going to be an issue. Fernando Tatis has already proven that he is a playoff performer. I think we already know what we're going to get from Manny Machado and some of those other guys. So I think the bats are going to be fine. I think the bullpen is going to hold it down. The question is, are they going to be able to get enough out of their starting pitching? And I'm going to go Padres here. I'm going to go Padres in 3.
I'll go Cubs in 3. All right, let's finish up with Reds versus Dodgers. We were talking about this last week, how we would be so excited to see the Reds go out there over the Mets, and that's exactly what happened. I do think the Dodgers probably steamroll in this one, but it'd be a great story if the Reds go out there and they beat the juggernaut that is the Dodgers. So, and they send Clayton Kershaw home sad. Tell me what you think about this
how
series.
That would be absolutely embarrassing for the Los Angeles Dodgers if they were to lose in the wild card to the Reds. This is a team, bro. There were people talking about this team winning 110 games.
They're in the wild card.
And now they're not even a top 2 seed in the NL.
Mm-mm.
If they lose to the Reds, this will be one of the biggest embarrassments in baseball history. To go out and stack your roster the way that they did, like, you can't lose this. I don't think they're going to lose. Like you said, they're probably going to win in 2 games.
Yeah.
But you can't count out the Reds, man. They fought hard to get here. And obviously, in baseball, I feel like more than any other sport, the teams that are hottest coming into October are usually the ones that go the furthest. And the Reds are hot right now.
I think LA, they play so well at home. They do have such a great environment there. I think that's what's going to give them kind of the edge in this series, other than the fact that their roster is just totally top to bottom better. But the Reds are young. I would love to see them just get in that little taste of playoff baseball to kind of just propel them into being – because I love watching Ellie. He's a great guy to be able to watch. He's so exciting. So I would love them to just maybe even squeak out one. They make this a series and go 3 games, and they don't just get steamrolled by the Dodgers. But I'm happy for them to be able to go out there. It's always fun when Cincinnati has their team in the playoffs, to be honest. I remember when they had Johnny Cueto out there back in the day. Those were good times. So, yeah. I like it when the Reds are playing well.
I think the Reds pitching is going to be there. They got Hunter Green for game 1. They got Andrew Abbott for game 2. And then Lodolo for game 3, if we get to a game 3.
Right.
So I think their starting pitching is going to be able to keep them in it. I just don't know if they're going to be able to produce enough offense.
All right. Before we wrap up the show, I'm going to let you have the floor, talk about your Penn State Nittany Lions, and then we'll wrap it up. It was a great game, man. You can't be upset about it. They put up a fight at the end to be able to come back, and then Drew Aller throws a pick in overtime. It was a great game, man. I was in awe that we got so much good good sports this weekend, and that was one of the highlights of it. Not for you, maybe, but I'm going to give you the floor. Have your moment. Let it all out, Robbie.
I don't even know what to say, bro. I'm tired of this team. I'm tired of this team getting my hopes up. I'm tired of thinking this is the year. I'm tired of thinking that Drew Aller is going to be that guy that gets us over the hump. I am sick and tired of James Franklin, bro. I don't know how this dude still has a fucking job. I really don't. He is 2-21 against top 6 opponents. 2-21 against top 6 opponents. And in at least half of those games, probably, he has had a top 10 ranked team. He's had stacked defenses. He's had a stacked running game. I don't get it, man. I don't.
Rob, you need a therapy session. Go call a therapist and let it all out. You don't have to let it all out on air. It's okay. I'll give you a hug next time I see you.
Drew Aller, I hope I never see you in the NFL.
Wow.
He's
He doesn't even
terrible.
want to see you succeed.
He's terrible. He's legitimately terrible. What? He has never played good in a big game. Never. He's like 0-6 against top 5 teams or top 10 teams or whatever. He's never won. He's never won a game against a top-ranked team, ever. He looked terrible against Oregon, except for that one drive. He had one good drive where he completed all 3 of his passes and hit Devontae Ross for a 35-yard touchdown. The rest of the game, he did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then he ends the game exactly the way he ended the game in the college football playoff last year, throwing an inexcusable interception.
Eerily similar to that. Yeah.
On the first play, it was first and 10.
Yeah, well, you had Oregon go out there and score their first play, so he's probably trying to answer.
The worst part is that Oregon didn't even get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, all you had to do was go score the touchdown. And
then
go get your 2 point.
Yeah, we still would have had to get the 2. But my goodness, bro. The first play. You throw an interception on the first play.
Yeah, it was anticlimactic. I thought that it was going to be like you guys were going to go out there and win on that drive. And then just the whole air out of that stadium was just sucked out after that pick, man.
I would have been happier. We should have just lost 17-3.
Yeah.
Like,
don't even get my hopes up.
We came back. They gave me the false hope gimmick. We tied the game with 30 seconds left. Mm-hmm. At that point, I'm thinking, yeah, we might actually win the game. And then Drew Aller. Oh my goodness. I want to say things about Drew Aller that I shouldn't say on the air.
Let's wrap it up. I think that'll be it for today. We did a quick little show. It was a fun weekend, but a quick little show. We got stuff to do. Broke down a little NFL. Broke down a little MLB wild card. This time next week, those Red Sox will be on to round 2, playing the Blue Jays in the MLB playoffs. So keep ready for that. Rob will have the Red Sox
the division series start on Saturday and Sunday, I believe. So it'll be probably Guardians, Mariners, Yankees, Blue Jays, of course, Dodgers, Phillies, and then I think Padres, Brewers. But that one's really a toss-up, that Padres-Cubs series. That's going to be a tough one. Yankees, Blue Jays is going to be a hell of a matchup, though. Might have to go.
MLB the show. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Good show today, boy.
You are right. It's going to be a hell of a show.
All right. I'll see y'all later. Keep liking, keep subscribing. We're on the road to 1,000. We're almost there, guys. So keep pushing us over the edge. Appreciate all the support. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys.
Peace.